strongest souls are often sent down the loneliest paths. Plato. If you are a Pisces or carry a soul like one, it means you've walked through far more than others ever knew. You didn't collapse, but you've had nights where breathing felt impossible. You didn't give up, but you've had to suppress many moments when you wanted to disappear. And if lately it feels like everything is dragging on, delayed, looping, testing you, it doesn't mean you've lost your way. It means you're at the end of a spiritual test. That's the first sign. Not chaos, not misdirection, but a silent phase where your faith is being tested. Pisces is the final sign in the Zodiac, and the only one chosen to learn the ultimate lesson of the universe, trusting in the dark. There are things God sends through dreams. There are things He writes across the sky. And astrology, not to replace faith, but to remind us there is a deeper order operating within the chaos. You believe when there's nothing to see. You wait when no promise is given. You go on when no one is holding your hand. You don't talk about it. You don't complain. But deep down, you know you've been waiting for too long. Not the kind of waiting that is passive, but the waiting of someone who knows. If you quit now, all the patience you've endured will have meant nothing. And you refuse to let that happen. You've stayed patient, even when you no longer felt trust, even when you weren't sure what was holding you together. You kept going. You stayed kind, even when the world wasn't gentle. You've lived in that space between a blurry present and a shapeless future, a space only Pisces understands, where things can't be explained and only endured. But here's something no one told you. You are not weak, you are being protected. And that protection comes from a hand, larger, wider, nameless. But you always feel it when you collapse in tears. Some things cannot be rushed, like planting a seed beneath hardened soil. Others may look and think you're doing nothing, but only you know how many storms you fought. Unseen, you don't move fast like they do, but you go farther. And the universe knows that. You are not impulsive. You choose to pause, breathe deeply, and nod to every wave of pain. And that patience, your unwavering loyalty to the light, is exactly what's about to open a new door for you. Some call it the principle of delayed gratification, that the things which come quickly often carry no lasting meaning, and that the greatest things always demand a stillness that tests your limits. Like how a bamboo shoot waits 5 years underground before sprouting, like how a butterfly must break free of its cocoon alone, or it will never fly. You have waited like that. You never rushed the universe. You let it work in its own time, even when your heart grew weary and restless. And now the pieces are beginning to shift, quietly, without warning. Until one day you'll simply realize you're no longer in the dark. You may not realize it yet, but the silence you've held all this time, the suffering no one ever saw, the trust you gave to things unseen, these were the strongest prayers you've ever sent to heaven, and no prayer like that ever goes unheard. It's no coincidence that you're still here. It's not random that you haven't given up. There is an invisible light still surrounding you. Whether you call it intuition or faith or simply a feeling, or sacred belief you're now afraid to name, you don't need to prove anything anymore. You don't have to pretend to be strong. Just keep being you and hold on to that patience like a tiny flame, because what you've been waiting for is also moving toward you. The universe is not just watching, it is arranging. Silently, elegantly, precisely, and very, very close. Astrology doesn't make things happen. It helps you understand why they have, are, and will. Over the past months, as Saturn moved through your very own sign, it didn't destroy you. It was teaching you the burden of light. And Neptune, your silent guardian, has been standing still, just like you, and whispering, I'm waiting for you to be strong enough to receive what you asked for. The strange thing is, the more patient you became, the more the world seemed to fall out of sync. The calmer you stayed, the louder everything got. The gentler you became, the more you got dragged into conflicts you didn't create. And if you're starting to feel pulled into chaos, know this isn't random. That's the second sign. Sign number 2, you keep facing conflicts, not because you're wrong, but because you're being taught how to stay calm in the chaos. What have you noticed lately? People who used to be gentle with you are suddenly snapping for no reason. Relationships you thought were stable are starting to crack. The words you say, even with good intentions, get misunderstood. You feel like a magnet pulling in chaos you didn't create, and you wonder, what did I do wrong? If you're a Pisces, or carry a soul as sensitive as one, these recent disruptions may have made you feel like you've gone off track. But the truth is, you're not wrong. You're not falling behind. You're being trained. Why does it feel like every storm is hitting at once from every direction? Because the universe isn't punishing you by putting you in chaos. It's training you to stand still within it, to see yourself clearly, not through compliments or recognition, but through how you stay grounded in the middle of the shaking. You've always been the one to back down. You hate arguments. You choose silence to keep the peace, even when a storm is roaring inside. But here's the truth. Avoiding conflict isn't always peace. There comes a time when you must learn to stay still in the eye of the storm instead of stepping away from it. So when challenges come one after another, when people's emotions rise and spill out, don't react right away. Don't blame yourself. Don't rush to fix everything. Stand still, listen, and let your heart remain unshaken. You're being taught how to protect your peace, even when the world around you no longer feels peaceful. Because there will come a time when you enter a new space, where people come to you not because you're good, but because you're still. But how could you become still if you've never walked through chaos? How could you learn to protect your energy if you've never been drained by those who don't keep their word? How could you speak truth gently if you've never been strangled by silences too heavy to bear? Maybe you've noticed you're more irritable lately, more impulsive, more emotional. But that doesn't mean you're falling apart. It means you're being pushed deeper into your true self, a layer where you must choose again. Will you keep swallowing everything, or will you learn to speak without harming? Will you keep giving in, or will you begin to set boundaries? Conflict isn't here to destroy your peace. It's here to rebuild it in a new way, not by walking away from everything, but by staying and remaining whole. Remember, every word you speak is a ripple. It will either heal or sweep everything away. So when you choose silence, do it from strength, not because you have no voice. When you choose to speak, do it from light, not because you need to be understood. You are being refined. Each conflict is a wave of training to teach you not to be swept away, but to become the current that guides. No battle is meaningless. No collision comes just to hurt you. They're all reminders. It's time to live differently, to live in a way where you don't have to run, don't have to force, don't have to prove. Just choose truth, but choose it with compassion. Astrology doesn't draw a fixed path. It reveals the waves you're silently swimming through, those invisible but real motions where your soul is trained by both light and storm. With Saturn drifting across your very sign, you're being taught the most vital lesson. Master your inner world before you try to master the outer one. And deeper still, Neptune, your silent guardian of compassion and faith, is holding the anchor firm. No matter how high the tides rise, you don't sink, because you've learned how to stay centered, even when the world around you spins out. And if there's ever a moment you feel completely alone, remember this: God doesn't always rescue you from the storm. He walks you through it, so that you know the light you carry isn't so easily extinguished. Sign number 3, you feel that something good is about to happen. You can't explain it, no proof, no clear reason. It's just that lately you've felt a bit lighter inside. Life hasn't really changed much, but you've started smiling for no reason at all. You wake up with a gentle feeling in your chest. Something is coming. And it is, you're not mistaken. You're picking up on a signal most of the world has forgotten. The signal of hope that always comes before a miracle. A whisper from the light. Get ready. Your prayer is about to be answered. No one taught you to believe in this feeling. They told you not to dream too much. But dear Pisces, intuition is your soul's native language. You've always sensed the undercurrents before anyone else noticed. You've always known when to walk away, even if you didn't know why. And now, when a warm current spreads across your chest, when peace begins to arrive without warning, it's not wishful thinking. It's a gentle alert from the heavens. The harvest is coming, and it's for you. Science calls this subconscious perception. The body picks up on signals before the mind can process them. But you don't need theory. You only need to know. If you can feel it, that's enough. Because to feel it means you're attuned to a greater order. You're opening up to a plan that requires no proof. You're still holding on to faith, even when the world no longer does. That good feeling arrives quietly, like a thin breeze. Only hearts soft and open enough can recognize it. And you, Pisces, you've always been that way. Now the universe is whispering to you in the only language you truly understand. Joy with no reason, creativity rising without warning, a single glance that opens your heart. All of it is a message from the sky. Yes, it's finally your turn. Don't doubt it. Don't think you're imagining things. Because when you believe in what hasn't yet arrived, that's exactly when you open the door for it to enter. God doesn't need you to understand every step. He only needs you to keep going with a faith big enough to walk into the unseen. Just keep walking, even if no one around you senses anything, even if they're still caught in worry. You, with your deeper soul, will always be the first to hear the knock. And this time that door's opening for you. When Neptune and Saturn quietly move through your sign, there are no loud events, only silent adjustments from the deepest layers within. And in that stillness, your intuition becomes a sacred compass. It's guiding you toward a place the mind cannot map, a journey only the faithful can navigate. You might not see any change yet, but the divine is speaking to you through a feeling, through a mysterious light in your chest, through a peace you didn't seek but somehow found. Don't doubt it, because that is the first confirmation from heaven that everything you've been waiting for is beginning. Sign 4, the past returns. You thought you'd forgotten, thought you'd moved on, but one day the old memories return, without knocking, without asking. They simply flood in, a glance, a word, a dream. And what you believed was long buried resurfaces. You feel exhausted. You blame yourself. Why am I being dragged back? Why can't I just break free? But if the past is rising like a crashing wave, it doesn't mean you're regressing. It means you're being taken back to the fracture that needs one last healing. God doesn't lead you back to your old wounds to break you. He brings you to the cracks that haven't fully closed, because this time you're strong enough to touch them without shattering. No one can heal if they keep avoiding. And you don't need to fight. Just look straight at it with a heart that has grown softer. There were things that once made you feel like you were wrong, things you carried with guilt, things you endured without daring to say, "I'm tired." Now you don't need to relive them. You just need to see them through the eyes of a survivor. Memories aren't a sentence, they're a map. And once you've traveled that map, you have the right to step into new land. Sometimes you feel sad for no reason. Your mood drops suddenly. Oh, it's not because you're moody. It's because your soul is digesting old data. You're being released from within, one layer at a time. Only faith can soothe the wounds that reason cannot explain. Because there are pains that can only be placed in the hands of the one who sees even what you haven't spoken. He knows how long you've been carrying it all, how much of your real self you've sacrificed just to keep others comfortable. And when the past resurfaces, it's not disorder. It's the final mechanism of healing. Let the memories return, but don't hold on to them. Let the sobs break free without blaming yourself for being weak. Because in the moment when it feels like you're breaking, you're actually rescuing the child who was once left behind inside you. You don't need anyone to come save you. You just need to be there with enough compassion to say, "It's okay, I survived, and I will keep going," with a softer heart. God hasn't forgotten the tears you swallowed, hasn't forgotten the times you forgave in silence, hasn't forgotten the nights you collapsed and whispered, "Just give me peace." He's bringing you back to the place that was once abandoned, not to punish, but to return to you one sacred thing, true peace, peace that doesn't require pretended, peace with God at the center. When you look up at the sky, you'll see it's not just one being watching over you, but a divine order, operating quietly in the background. What you're going through now is no accident. It was written long ago on the map of your soul's light. And like every journey through the dark, the universe has its own way of reaching your soul, through the rhythmic shifting of the stars. If you feel overwhelmed, if old memories suddenly return, it's because the cocoon shedding season has arrived. Not to torment, but to liberate. When Saturn and Neptune pass through your sign, everything you've tried to hide gets pulled into the light. What you held back, what you sacrificed that no one saw, the illusions you clung to for comfort, all of it will be laid bare, not to punish, but to wake you up. The door of the 12th house, the place of memory, the subconscious and surrender, is quietly creaking open. And you, dear Pisces, are one of the rare souls soft enough to walk through that gate without losing your essence. Sign 5, the dreams. If you are a Pisces, or you carry the frequency of a Pisces, believe this. Your dreams do not visit by chance. They are gentle messages from the universe, delivered in silence to awaken a part of your soul you once forgot. What have you been dreaming of lately? Soaring? Weightless, discovering something that sparkles, meeting an old figure, but this time there's no more pain, or simply waking up with a strange peace in your chest. You might dismiss it. But in truth, it's the moment your soul is speaking to the sky, and the sky whispers back. Not all dreams are just dreams. Some only come when you've passed through a deep layer of challenge. They are rewards, silent affirmations from the place you once belonged to. You've come far enough to glimpse what's next. Because no one feels the depth of symbols like a Pisces. No one has chosen to hear the call of light first, like you. If you dream of flying, perhaps you're being released from an invisible bind. If you see light shining through a door, you're entering a higher level of reality. If something is handed to you, take note. That's a soul code just delivered to you from the universe. You don't need to analyze, you just need to believe, because miracles can't live in doubt. Many people don't understand, but there are dreams that make you cry, not from sorrow, but from release. Dreams that make you hold yourself in the dark and feel forgiven. These are the nights no one else sees, but the divine does. And in those fragments of dreams, you are healed without trying. He doesn't speak only through chaos, he uses dreams. When you've been silent for too long, dreams are how he gently sends answers down, so that when you wake, you no longer feel empty. And if lately you've been dreaming more, remembering more clearly, feeling a warmth in your heart, even without knowing what it means, then don't doubt it. The universe is knocking one last time to say your reward is near, not a material one. But this, you no longer fear your old darkness. You can smile at what hasn't arrived yet. You no longer feel alone, even if no one walks beside you yet. These dreams are signs. Neptune and the moon have begun to intertwine. This is when the deepest layer of your subconscious starts releasing its data. If you've made it here, it means you've passed through the season of darkness, and the light within you no longer needs anyone's confirmation. There are things you've prayed for so long, you forgot you ever asked for them. But the divine hasn't forgotten. He responds, not through words, but through a feeling you can't name. Feeling enough, feeling light, feeling love, without condition. And this is the final sign. You no longer need to wait, because what you've been waiting for has already begun making its way toward you. If you've had strange dreams in recent days, leave a comment below. And if you felt something from this video, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next messages written just for you, dear Pisces.